Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We are officially live, getting you something special today. Some good conversation and some deeper looks into
Just a little longer.
the greatest creators' newest release coming soon. Take a quick look here. One second. Well, we're having technical difficulties, folks. That's right, we're stuck in the Death Stranding. We're gonna break this down to a science on some things that I feel gamers need to
Let's
know
get it
about,
moving.
and it is happening right now. One second. There's some major issues happening on my stream. There we go. Wow. What a way to start.
Nothing in the
All right, here
tank.
we go. Nice awkward moment of truth. Thank you for tuning in and rocking with me. This is a live stream. Nothing's rehearsed, and we wanted to talk about this game, Death Stranding,
Over here!
and break a bunch of things down for people who
I'm
aren't
Sam!
familiar with Kojima's work
Hey!
with Death Stranding. And some people will have their says about what they feel or think this game is, and some will just continue the puns, which are entertaining. But today, we break it down
Anyone?
simply. Okay. First of all, Hideo Kojima
Anybody
games
hear
are
me?
action packed. So the idea that some are saying from what they've seen, they felt like there wasn't a lot of action and all you're doing is traveling. And this is 100% false. You're going to be in a very dangerous world. There's going to always be a good balance of action and traversing. A lot of reasons why you see this type of stuff here is to explain to players they can get anywhere, they can do anything. Don't feel limited because there's a mountain. I can't climb it. You're gonna have tools necessary. So Kojima's been using his gameplay footage to kind of explain this to players, break it down to them in different ways. We're gonna lower the gameplay here so you can hear me. So please just understand Kojima always has amazing action. Actually, his games, player movement and controls, as far as AI, if you really want to take a look into the history, the Kojima games for the Metal Gear series have revolutionized the AI systems. It's the first one to have a caution and an alert phase. A lot of games follow this trend now. It's the first game to create calling for backup. It's the first game to bring you things in that nature in a deeper level where they have to radio in. You can shoot the radio. You can, alert, forget the calls. Things like that are very, very powerful for the Metal Gear series that Kojima created. So in this game, there will be those elements of stealth that you can play through, sneaking through a base to not get caught. But there will be a lot of action and there will be a lot of dangerous elements to the game. People, one of the criticisms that someone told me was they felt like Death Stranding was all about Ghost. And there's a bunch of ghosts flying around, and that is very untrue as well. We're going to see footage in a minute about that. And this is not how I wanted to start the stream to discuss these negative topics, but it's important to get them out the way so people can get their mind right and see the bigger picture. But this game has factions. If you take a look during the gameplay as we move forward within the next 10 minutes, there'll be clips of him facing factions. And there's more than just one faction in the team. There's a lot of human AI in this game, probably more than you can imagine. It's going to be a very tough fight for you. And we're going to get back into what we're watching here as far as the presentation. Oh, and he falls over. But the presentation of this clip, which shows us the core elements of some new features of resources and being able to traverse to areas and taking care of yourself and the baby, which is important in life and in the video game. So anyway, so back to the topics of breaking down what people have been trying to make. Oh, it's a delivery game. All you do is deliver. I think in every video game that I've ever played, there was some form of delivery. Take the prisoner, rescue him, and get him extracted. So you're delivering that. Whether it's going to get information so that you can deliver it at a base, some type of. There's all types of elements in that regard where you're delivering things. In this game, it's doing something a little different than that, and I want to showcase it right here perfectly. Where if you look at his big ass book bag and you're like, what the hell is going on? The reality is that book bag is a realistic form of what we do in video games, right? When you play a video game, you somehow have an infinite book bag where you can carry millions of items throughout the game, and you never have it on you. It's always just in your inventory, imaginary, infinite inventory for video games. And in this game, they're trying to make it a little more realistic, where if you have it, it's gonna be on you. So anytime he pulls out a ladder, he pulls out a gun, he pulls out a tool, it's literally on him. And this makes him a better player. Now, it might seem limiting and it might seem like, how am I supposed to fight or move or do anything? But what you got to understand, this guy has a exoskeleton suit that can make him do amazing, powerful things. Not just carry these things, but he can jump far distances or high distances. He has probably very strong powers with those as you upgrade it. Of course, you're not going to get it right at the start, but as you'll see in a little while, he'll end up picking up one and using it to escape some enemies. So these things are going to be used. These are a part of the game. There's a deep element of those exoskeleton being on your upgrade chart to help you to be a better player. So the thought of like, oh, I'm just delivering stuff, is not true. You're out here trying to bring the world together. Sometimes it's going to take fighting. Sometimes it's going to take gathering resources. Sometimes it's going to take delivering resources, getting intel, and working with people within the game, trying to do things with them, for them. And it's just a lot of things like that. But Kojima, being the creator he is, he doesn't feel he wants to always showcase action packed trailers or gameplay because, in realistic nature, every video game does it. He doesn't like being standard, he likes to be different. He wants to show people different things. For example, we get a quick setup here about how the scanning system works. You're in regular water, then you're in the yellow where it's a little deep and harder to traverse in. It's taking your stamina. Then it gets to the red where it's dangerous to even be next to. And this causes him an issue. So these type of things are going to be not just for water, but when you're climbing mountains or going down mountains and various aspects, the environment will play a role in the game more than ever, probably in any video game. This one is going to affect everything. So you can lose some of your resources or they can get damaged and things like that that really play an important role for the stuff you have. So the survival element is there. It's going to be interesting to see how dynamic that is as we go forward. So thank you guys for tuning in, rocking with me. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about a couple of address some things that a lot of fans have been asking me about, and I'm running through the list. I have no script here, and we're just gonna talk about it as we go forward. We will come back to anything you have, any questions you have. Uh, Now, before I get into the story and all of that, I want to address another issue uh, where where I just spoke about. People are addressing this game as like a ghost game. I said it earlier, and like I explained, there's factions, there's human players. Kojima was the creator of the caution and alert phases in video games. He brought that out since the 80s. He had this implemented and continued to evolve it more than any other video game has. If you talk about artificial intelligence, he's done it very well. So I expect the AI to be responsive, to call for backup, to group up to fight you and do different things. Some guys to run away when they know they can't win the fight. There'll be a bunch of elements. Excuse me. That pre-exist already. So never doubt that. And the reason I bring that up is because the core element of this game isn't gonna be action packed. All we see is traversing through environments. I don't see a lot of action. Um, if the, I can guarantee you, if there's no action, I will pay every person. I would give them everything I owned until I have nothing left. If this game is lax in action, which I doubt it will. We've seen a couple of fights. We've seen some boss battles, but the action is going to be there. You have to understand that. But there's more to the game than action, and that's where Kojima presents it in a special way. As you can see here, the tangible nature of the environment, being able to get anywhere and to do anything, is very important. All right, so now we're gonna end all of that and get into what I really wanted to talk about in general and what matters to me, which is the most important part of this game. And I think everybody, and I say everybody, I mean everybody, has a preconceived notion of what they think Kojima does or doesn't do with his video games. And I'm to blame partially. I'm a small part of it. But since 2001, I've been writing concepts, themes, and theories of Kojima's work. And what could be, what is, what he meant, or you know, his development process, all of those things I've been doing for a long, long time. And what happened was it's become a monster, and it's become so big that it's destroying itself in some parts. It's an amazing, fun community who, come up with the craziest theories for Metal Gear, and now they have crazy theories for Death Stranding, and the facts are Death Stranding is a very simple game with a simple storyline on the things that are happening in this world. And we've already gotten too much information. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but we've already gotten too much information on what this game is and what does it do. And not very spoilerish, but kinda. Supernatural events have destroyed the Earth, and the supernatural events are called Death Strandings. And these things basically, as we know, basically affect society in a way where there's the dead and the alive people in between both worlds, and it's kind of created this quantum realm um, elements. And you see Sam Porter Bridges, who has the baby. He used that baby to connect to the other side, to be able to see these creatures and to be able to battle them when necessary or avoid them when necessary. So as you can see here, this is his little device. That's the quantum physics master key, if you want to say. As you can see how it works, and it creates this whole quantum physics where he's floating up and things like that. That's a perfect example of what this world and this universe has been struck by, all of these elements that change the world drastically. And right now, what you're watching is him connecting to one area and getting back connected into the game. And of course, with a famous Japanese person, he's there. We've seen Jeff Keighley a little earlier. There's gonna be lots of features of famous people in this game, which I really really love, and I think it's awesome. But that being said, um, overall the game's gonna have so many elements of quantum physics, and understand it's not just gonna be all of these creatures. There's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of factions, a lot of problems, a lot of, how would I say, drama within the game. Something that Kojima focuses on is character development, and you're gonna see a lot of it. Not just Sam Porter Bridges, but all the other amazing cast that we'll look at later on. Right now, we're watching gameplay because I wanted to talk. So the facts are. Oh wait a minute, did I just mess up? Oh buddy, ladies and gentlemen, apologies. I did, I did, I did. Let me go in here. There we go. All right, I fixed it. So, a lot of these elements and a lot of this game is really based off of the drama and the storyline. So, what is the storyline? What is it really about? So, these quantum physics affected the Earth, and these people are trying to survive it, and they're trying to put things back together. And in reality, society also has to figure it out. So, for example, as you can see here, this game has these thumbs up, just like social media has likes. And these guys put ladders, they put ropes, they put a little bit of everything in the game to help out Sam. And this is actually other players who can do this. All right, so I'm setting things up for you as he walks by. If you pay close attention, he's seeing ladders, he's seeing different things that other players put, and more people can put thumbs up and appreciation for everything that people have placed throughout the world. So it's a vital part of the game, to reconnect the world, but also connect the players in a special supportive way that you don't see in a lot of video games. On this regard, it's something different, and it's going to open the door for a new style and experience of the video game. I wonder how much it's going to affect the games, but I like it. That being said, there's more to the story than what I'm telling. I'm trying to keep it spoiler free, but if you look at the core elements of what the game offers, you're getting a lot of amazing visuals and terrain and environments overall. But Kojima is a master of storytelling, and he knows how to combine all of this in a special way. So you're going to have key characters, which we've already seen tons of them. And then you're going to have the factions and the enemies and the variety of human enemies and the variety of these species, creatures, uh, that we call stranded ones. That's what I'm calling them. Beached things is what they call them, but I call them stranded ones. So this is the formula of this game. This is the type of stuff I love that they're doing. But what you gotta know is overall the game is going to be massive when it comes to um, combat. So being smart about it, knowing how to handle it, and knowing how to survive it, it's going to be critical because as you can see here, he's resting, right? But in reality, it's not like he needs to rest there. He can keep moving forward, but he's taking the time there, getting himself back together because you never know when you're going to be in a fight. So I think that if I remember Kojima's work in the past, you get to pace yourself in a lot of his video games, specifically Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. The pacing was very special. So you end up in a big base, you're trying to fight through and get to the next area. Once you get to the next area, it'll be like a calm swim through a swamp, but there's still alligators to get you. So there's a somewhat relaxation, but there's also intense moments. So, for example, in this area here, he rested, he took his time, but there can be the BTs that will possibly pop up and cause some chaos on his life. So these are type of elements that are gonna make this intense moment even through the battles. So look at here as we see these ladders, and they are pretty much a showcase of players leaving resources for other players, trying to be useful. And you gotta love it because this is going to be the newest element. We haven't seen players sharing resources in video games like this, um, to the point where you can like it, you can dislike it, I guess. And there's going to be very specific things, unlike other games that you can name and say, oh, this game did the same thing. They did similar things, but not the same. So, so I like it. I think once we see this in full motion, it's going to really change the game and be extra special for others. And I'm excited for it. And as you can see, he dropped something off. He basically traded with someone, dropped something off, and picked up their stuff. So these are very special elements. And look at it another position right here where they leave him an item, and I believe this is where he picks up. What does he pick up? Shared locker, claim cargo. So there you go. This is the exoskeleton. That's what I was talking about earlier. People thinking that you're gonna have to lug around all that, but if you look at his feet, now he has an exoskeleton where he's able to carry more items, and also he picked up the cargo package. So now everything is off of his back, and he's able to just allow that thing to follow him, right? So these are that type of elements that are special. And then some another player right here. This is a music tower, I would say, but it's probably a little more than that. And someone decided to put some music right there to relax, just a relaxed area. And I think that's pretty cool. It's going to be fun and interesting to see how people utilize these things and where they're set up at and what works best. Um, it's a cool mechanic. Now you got music as you play the game, and you can relax and rest there. So all of this are the small details outside of the combat, outside of the infiltration, and outside of the actual missions. Without spoiling the story, you're getting pieces of the gameplay that are going to be critical in the long run. And why is that important? Why is that? It's not the core elements, but we're about to see some actual type of mission. You're going in here, you need to do some things. So what does he do? He drops off all his luggage, and this is a very cool segment of how you can travel in this game also. So imagine you put everything on your book bag and you just ride this bad boy throughout the world, which was gonna be a blast just to hang out and to ride this scooter type of hoverboard is what I'm gonna call it. So that is amazing. And then now you can watch. He just put it away into his book bag. Now he's gonna scan the area and see where everything is, and this is where the stealth and the action. If you're a bad player, you can turn this into an action sequence, and it turns into one. Spoiler alert! But this is a vital part of the game and the experience for players if they take their time. So he's using a non-lethal strand. This is a rope pretty much, but it's specially made to um, pretty much tranquilize people instead of choking them out. It's a special one. So he takes him down, and this is non-lethal, which you just saw. It might look lethal, but it's non-lethal. And what he's about to pick up is a actual another non-lethal weapon, and this is customized, made A player, I believe, left this in there for him, or he's supposed to pick that up. I'm not even sure where did this come from. I'm guessing it was there, but I think maybe somebody left it there for him. So now he has this gun, and this gun is pretty crazy. If you see what it does, it's kind of like a, I don't even know, man. There's got to be a new word for this thing. So when he shoots, so he gets spotted here. See you later. And now this is where the action comes into play, and you're gonna see they're gonna start swarming him. Everybody on the base is alerted. They're going to get him, and he has to find a way out. And instead of killing them, he's using this new device that pretty much electrifies them and stuns them. It's a stun gun in a way, but a special one with the rope that wraps around them, keeping the theme of strands, aka rope. So this is what I like. This is what I like the most. When you're watching the combat, you see a lot of dope elements, a lot of amazing things you're gonna be able to do with these players, and even the speed of you can where you can catch up to this truck. You kept the speed of this truck, so that is pretty cool. Get him, you knock him down while he's down. Little details like that that you might miss and think, oh, the combat's not that great. It's amazing. Um, and now Kojima again doesn't want to be violent, so he's doing all non-lethal play for the most part. And this is more about a showcase that they want to do. They're purposely allowing the truck to get destroyed so you can see what happens when it gets destroyed. And again, this is a gameplay demo. They kind of script what they want out of it. So we're going to get to see the exoskeleton that you're using, the special abilities that it has. So it's not just for you to carry more items and to do all of those things. At the moment, as you can see, he's trapped. This is a big gap, kind of like an earthquake that split the earth. But with the exoskeleton, he's able to do an amazing jump like that and continue and escape from the fight. Now he could have stood there, knocked all those guys out, gather all the resources, and that's what I would do. But that's just me. I guess I'm a hoarder. But as you can see, this is the core elements of the game. This is the key notes of it. Now I wanted to talk about something very specific because I feel people misunderstand Kojima's work, and I was talking about it a little bit earlier, but we have to get into it. A lot of people um, try to make conspiracy theories out of Kojima's work, but in reality, what he creates a video game is hard to explain the game, not because they're complicated, but because unlike every other game, it's a full on experience. And what I mean by that is I play God of War. I think it's one of the best games in recent years. Um, just beautiful story, great lore, great combat, overall cinematically done well. Like everything about that game is amazing. But it's just a story about these Greek god who goes into Norse mythology and has to fight. And he has a kid and a wife, and things happen. And it's just a regular story. With Kojima, what he does is creates an actual experience. And what I mean by that is the gameplay ties into the story ties into the theme ties into the message. The message is for you to truly understand and to take as a person outside of the game into real life. And it's a powerful thing that he does, and it's a beautiful thing that he does. And I think players don't appreciate it enough. And I think they worry about conspiracies and connections, and they worry about, oh well, this is crazy or that's, and they get into all the little nitty gritty that have nothing to do with what Kojima's true examples and flows are. I'll give you a quick small taste of what I mean. Metal Gear Solid, the whole series, every single game is The theme is anti-war, anti-nuclear missiles, and anti-war. And this is a message because of his mother and father who suffered through the bombings in Japan. So, so the reason this is important to remember and understand is that in the Metal Gear games, there's these concepts and themes that really open a door to a bigger picture on what is happening. So if you play the game non-lethal, you get rewarded. If you do lethal stuff, the game will have consequences and make you feel them, and you'll have to experience something in the game. And they put you in these positions where you have to choose, and it's just a lot of really powerful things that are very interesting and very special. And they're all connected in so many different ways, and the way he presents the gameplay and the structures of it. And I think a lot of people miss that and just say, "Oh, the gameplay was fun. Oh, the story was amazing," and they separate it all into their own. How would I say? Into their own ideas of what they feel the game offers, right? So yeah, cool. Metal Gear Solid has amazing stories combining together fun stuff. Sure, Metal Gear's gameplay is amazing. It's fun times. But it's together it creates this masterpiece that not many video games ever can mimic. So I think people miss out when they actually try to really break down these games. So with Death Stranding, I think the same thing will happen. Still, and that's sad to say, but I think the world will miss out on it in the truest sense of what it really does. So, for example, right here, I'll give y'all an example just for this game. So, what a lot of people don't know, that chemical that he's using is part of his blood, and it's a part of him, like his literally his body. He's using that. This is a non-lethal way to take down this creature. And there's meaning and messages behind why being non lethal is going to be important to fight this creature. And while most people won't care, they'll just be like, oh, we killed it. It was crazy. It was a good fight. Oh, man, I don't know what to do. And, you know what I mean? And it's understandable. But these chemicals are actually a part of the storyline and the elements of what make this game what's gonna make this game very special. So imagine you're using your blood to defeat these creatures. All right. So this blood is in that grenade that you're throwing. The chemicals within it, and there's a reason behind that, and there's a bigger picture and story and theme that folds together to create the experience of what Kojima game is. And a lot of guys don't see that. And people watching right, I know you're watching. I know you're watching, dude. I know you're watching. People watching right now, please understand that and try to share this message with people because I'll, 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 I hate to say this. Um, I hate to say this. There's people who are in communities for the Metal Gear series, and for the last 5 years, have come to me and I've sat down, and had dinner with them, and talked with them, and online talked to them, and they're stuck in the theories and the concepts of like, oh well, this is what's really happening, and they want to figure out an imaginary idea, and then they're missing out on the core, real pureness of what Kojima games are meant to be. And it frustrates me, but there's nothing I can do to change their minds when they're so lost in that. But I tell them, I say, hey man, no. And the message I'm giving you now is the message that you got to share for these people. Um, and I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry. So anyway, that's what I want people to understand and explain and understand in a deeper way, because there's a bigger problem with what you really don't know, and you're missing out, and the whole world will miss out, and they'll still think this game's amazing, just like they do with the Metal Gear games. Oh, this is fun. It was a fun gameplay. Oh, the story was great. The visuals were good, or whatever you want to put to Kojima's mastery. Cool. but take a second and put it all together and really experience it the right way. And I can sit here right now and break down every Metal Gear game and tell you why it was so fantastic. Not because of, oh, the gameplay was just good or the story was great. There's deeper elements to them that combine to create this experience that's like no other video games in the world. And I love Cory Barlog. I love um David Cage. Two of my favorite creators. David Cage, to me, his innovation for Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human, he's pioneered a genre like no other. Amazing stuff he's done for years. And Cory Barlog is recent masterful, no cut scenes, no camera cut, one camera throughout the whole game, and just everything about that game, God of War, was just unbelievable. And I actually love them. They're my top. They're some of my top guys, top five. But Kojima can't even. Kojima is my top five. Like, it's not a fanboy. It's not a. It's just realistically, as an artist, a creator, you look at it the right way, and you'll appreciate it. So, but anyway, um, back to the core of this game, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because this experience is meant to change your mind um, about things in society and try to see things differently when you play a video game. And and we're supposed to support and grow in society and life, and we tend to focus on ourselves so much, absorbed in our daily day, that we miss out on trying to be there for others and do more for others. And this video game is going to try to connect us in a special way and make sure we're not disconnected, making sure that we're not stuck in Death Stranding type of mentality, that we can escape that and we can go into life connections. And that's what this video game's message and themes and concept is. And I'm excited for it. Hold on a second. I want to message everybody on here. There we go. Oh no. Something went wrong. I'm reloading my stream. But everybody watching, again, apologies. I know that there's a bunch of people everywhere in different outlets, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope. If I'm not seeing your comments, come over to Twitch and let's talk there. I'm going to see if this is working because I have a universal chat. It's called Restream.io. It's a website I use, and I'm on all these platforms at the same time. So, um, I can't talk about if I have the game or not. What you're watching is just footage of what we saw already. So I'm not doing anything illegal. Um, as far as like exposing. Ooh, look at that mythology with the breakdown. This is good. All right. So first of all, my comments are working again. Thank you, mythology, for coming by. So let's break that down and let's get into what he said specifically. And this is perfectly fine. And this is perfectly normal. And I've had a lot of conversations with people who felt the same way. Some really, really, really special people that I care about, and some people that are just online, and they break it down to me and they tell me that they don't feel interested in Death Stranding, and they have their different reasons. One guy's like, I don't want to be a delivery guy for a video game. That's why I don't work pizza delivery, because I don't want to be delivering. That's a funny and true statement. Me neither. We're both even. I'll eat pizza, but I won't deliver it. That said, that is not what happens in this game. Second notion, I want to know what your thoughts are specifically on why you feel the game isn't interesting and what you don't like about this game. What do you think is not good? Because I can tell you a million things of reasons why it is, visually and technically. just from the visuals you're seeing here, all the way to if you see the way he walks and he's on a rock, his feet aren't just imaginary planted. If there's a rock, his feet will confide to it just like a regular human. So thank you guys for coming through. Felipe, thank you for coming through. We are trying to enjoy the discussion about Death Stranding, and I would like to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. And I like it when people just be honest and open and feel that way. I'm a big fan of the game. I think it's going to be an amazing experience. I broke down why Kojima is a genius, but I'm happy to get into deeper layers on what we feel. So if you feel like there's a reason why, you'd let me know. Hey, if you don't remember who I am, we did some episode. Really, when was this? Felipe. All right, so I'll give you an example here. This is a stealth section of the game where you're in trouble and you're about to get caught by some of these creatures. And you have a chance to escape here, but this guy doesn't at the moment. He gets caught. But you can easily escape from that if you make it out of that black tar that's going to capture you. But what's cool about this is that we get to see a boss fight and things like that. So there's action in this game. There's a lot of action in this game. If you're thinking that this game doesn't have action, then you are solely confused about everything that this game is offering. There's so much action. It's crazy to think that it's not going to have action. You have a lot of factions, human factions, not creatures, not just creatures, even though we see a creature right here. There's a lot of action outside of the creatures also. So you're going to end up fighting other factions and facing them and dealing with things with them. Let's turn this music up a little bit. So don't question about the action. If you remember the Metal Gear series, there's always action in the Metal Gear series. You can see here these bombs, this war that is happening before your eyes. It's going to be very interesting. There's got shots fired here. There's a lot of action. So the idea of action not being a key component in this game is crazy to me. There's going to be tons of action, tons of drama for you to unfold. It's going to be times where you're going to need a break. You're going to want to just traverse and take a second. Like, man, that's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? So we gotta look into this and get into what is or what isn't. I have some gameplay clips also. We could show that. Again, I'm not doing anything illegal. I know people are probably wondering, oh, you showed some clips. No, everything I've shown is out in the public already, so I can't get in trouble because I didn't showcase any official exclusive clips of the game yet. Keyword yet. Um, but don't sleep. You're gonna have to fight this guy most likely. You're gonna have to fight Troy Baker's army for sure. You've seen the guys in the yellow jackets. I think there was guys in orange jackets too. The various factions like that you're gonna face, going into their bases, taking their resources, and you know, dealing with that type of thing. So, so don't sleep. Don't sleep on this game. There's much to expect gameplay wise. So I just want to understand what people don't like. What do they don't like? It would be very interesting to make a list of things they don't like. Help me understand. Help me understand. Let me go into where's the gameplay footage? Hmm. Wasn't there gameplay somewhere? So as we see here, this is the good stuff. So this is more story based. Thank you by the way for coming through and following Dome. We are discussing the good and the bad, what we people think and don't think about Death Stranding, what they don't like, what they feel like will be great, what won't be great, because it's important for people to know it exactly what they're getting. It seems in the community, if I was to go on Twitter right now and I search Death Stranding, a lot of people will tweet, "I don't understand this game. What is happening? What is going on? This is crazy." And in reality, it's not. I'm sorry. I know it sounds fun to say, but you're talking about a world where supernatural events happen called Death Stranding. This changed the world. This destroyed the world in a way, and you're trying to survive that, and you're fighting through, trying to get through. Now, does that mean there's no humans? Yes, there is. Because right now you're about to see these guys come out. They find Sam Porter Bridges. Now he has to get into a fight. These yellow suit wearing guys are one of the many factions in the game that you're gonna have to battle. And there's a lot of action, as you can see here. He dodges backwards, he moves forward, he loses his item, he picks it back up, then he gets into a fight, and beautiful combat here. Bang, knocks him out. Then he uses the briefcase to knock another guy out. So there's different combat styles. You can even use your bike to run somebody over with that little wheelie. So there's elements, and what's cool about this is a little dynamic element is it started raining. The yellow suit guys got scared because that's when the creatures come out. So they didn't want to face the creatures and fight Sam Porter at the same time. So they escaped during that time. But what Sam does is connect to this baby to be able to see on the other side. So right now, as he's connected to the baby, he's able to read where all the creatures are because of the baby, because the baby is from the other dimension. So he's using that device, aka the baby, to connect to the other side. And this part doesn't go as well as planned, but you can't escape these elements like I explained earlier. You can easily keep running and get out of that and not sink into the other side. What is the other side? That's a different thing for Kojima to explain. And I believe it's never going to be truly all explained. It's always going to be somewhat of a mystery. If you've seen Stranger Things, the other side, it's kind of explained a little bit how they got there, but they don't explain the other side fully the way it should. And they're already on episode season 3 or whatever. But so you're going into the other side. You're dealing with those creatures, but you're dealing with the human factions on Earth. There's a lot of elements like that, and people are sleeping on the fact that there will be human players you'll have to fight. There'll be factions you'll have to fight. It's not all creature based. It's not a ghost game. There's a lot of elements happening in this universe, and as you've seen in these trailers, a lot of amazing actors and players are in here. We're about to see possibly the biggest name in the gaming industry as far as voice actors go. Uh, Troy Baker. Let's watch that real
Like
quick.
your hands are full. It's no biggie. We can always tweak the rules a bit. Woo! He looks hungry. All you gotta do to make it out alive is not get eaten. Sound like fun? Of course it does.
So, very, very key element, special part here, as you're seeing once again, right there. Just a very simple clip of what it's going to be happening. So you're dealing with Troy Baker, aka one of the faction leaders, human faction, not creatures. He's a human faction leader who also can manipulate these creatures and utilize them for combat. All right, so you're getting special stuff. Now, this specific trailer is mostly traverse type of environments, looking at the different elements and places you can go and things you can do. It's pretty cool. But this is a mixture of what you can see and what's happening in this game. And the reason why it's good to mix them up, because the answers are in these trailers. All right. So as you play the game and you remember all of these trailers, they're going to open a door to what is really happening in this universe. They're going to open a door for you to be. Look at me. I'm coming through the screen. They're going to be opening the door for what is really happening and what is really going on overall. So you look at Mads and he looks like an evil guy, but you also see him when he's with the baby and promising the baby that the baby will travel the world and the baby will even go to the moon. And we'll get into that a little later, but there's just a lot of deep elements for you to pay attention to in this game. And if a lot of people just, what would I say, dismiss these trailers, you're getting spoilers. Everything is explained. It's sadly, I think I've seen too much. Now I know what the universe is. I know what to expect on every level, other than the core plots and the twists that are going to come at the end about who's the good guy or bad guy and why they're doing what they're doing. For example, she looks mighty evil in this scene, but then she's very good in the other scenes. And look at Sam drowning into the Death Stranding liquids. So you look at her, she looks amazing in some scenes. She looks fun. Like, for example, right now, Mads looks like an innocent man taking care of his child and promising his child that you'll be able to go anywhere you want, even the moon. And this is a big, big telling of the story of who is this baby and why it's important. How is it connected to the plot and the story? And it's just beautifully done, to be honest with you, because that opens the door of making what's his name, making Mads a special guy. And right after he tells the baby that, I put this clip on because this clip is also telling. This is the theme video, aka the intro for Homo Ludens, the mascot logo for Kojima Productions, as you see fit right here. Beautifully created. I met this guy a couple years ago. I have him on my Twitter. So as you see here, it's a quick, easy video just of him on the moon, aka the baby. So now we know the baby is going to the moon, as promised by Mads. And you gotta love that. So it's all connected. I've already talked about this in my other videos, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. But yes, the baby was promised that it was going to the moon. And Mads delivered, because in that trailer, which isn't supposedly not connected to Death Stranding, the baby is also on the moon. The moon, the baby's... I'm sorry. All right, enough of that. But the core element of this game, once again, we're going to do a quick wrap up just to address it for you guys. And then from there, we'll take more questions, comments. I would like y'all to share what you like or dislike. It's always interesting to hear people's perspectives. But imagine a special, very supernatural events happen. Quantum physics style, destroying the earth, bringing in these creatures to the world and causing you and everybody to die, suffer, go through some things. And quantum physics, quantum everything, realms are all over the place and you don't know what's going on. And it's like, what is really happening? This is what is happening on this earth. And it's a metaphor for our current state of living and society and the internet and how it's warping us into different things. And it's a special way for the game to present society's devastating effects of social media and the influence of media in itself, just entertainment how it controls us and devastates our lives in different ways, and how we're naked to the world right now, just like Norman is on a day-to-day basis on the internet. How I'm naked right now, in love with this game, speaking about it. How I'm trapped in this quantum physics streaming life, and how the handprints of everybody in the world are all over my body, just like Norman Reedus. How there's powerful people in this world above me controlling things, and maybe they're here to save me or maybe they're here to destroy me. How do I know? All I see is carnage in this earth, and I wake up to this world being devastated the way it is, from um, just environmental issues to society being destroyed, and everything still connected through these cords, just like cable and internet and all of these powerful elements that devastate us. And that's what the symbol of this video and the first video that they made symbolizes, and the game symbolizes this in many ways, and that's why it's called Death Stranding. It's really meant to be life connections and how we all connected through these struggles, and we die in the real world many different times over for various things. We die from our innocence, whether it's sex, drugs, um, innocence of purity, we're believing everybody's good person and believing all of these things. This game really wraps up in a beautiful way to touch you and to change you and to show you that we're all human. We're trying, and not everybody's perfect, and there are bad people and things go wrong, but it's on you to continue to make it better, and to continue to support, to continue to lift up, and continue to try to help each other. And that's why the gameplay mechanics are going to allow you to support other players by giving them resources, by giving them leaving ladders in special places, and leaving signs telling them where to go, leaving vehicles so that they can travel where they need to be. All of these elements are just like real life. You have a struggle, there's things you're going through. Someone has to be there, someone has to reach out, someone has to try while they're struggling too. If they just give a little bit back, they can make the world a better place, and they can help society. Just like in this game, the whole world's destroyed and torn apart. That's what this game's message core element is going to be providing for players. It's going to retouch your heart and soul if you really put in the time and effort, not just to beat the game, but to support other players. Like I said, leave a vehicle for someone, leave some ladders and ropes for in areas where they need to climb, so that they won't have to use theirs and lose out on resources. Do these things, help change the world in this game and in the real world, supporting others. This is where this game is very powerful, and the message behind seeing skeletons and things like this is bare boned. You're just the true you. When you see Norman Reedus naked, when you see the skulls, it's just the true you, right? And that's what this game is talking about. And then we all have something precious to us. We all have something important to us. We all have something powerful that moves us, changes us, and motivates us. And right here, the baby for this game is the key component that helps us get through life, and through the struggles and through the stress and through the problems, and really, really open a door for us as people. And that's where the symbolism of this baby and the power behind it is like no other. And a lot of people will miss out on these things because they're just like, oh, I just want to play this game, we'll see what it's like, and they won't get the deeper messages and the purposes and the meaningfulness behind it. Okay, so then in this trailer, when you first see it, you see a scared Del Toro here with the baby, and it's like, oh my God, what is going on? And then as you go forward, you're going to be seeing another clip within this video where you see Mads, a great actor, look like the bad guy. He looked like he's hunting for someone, but maybe he's the good guy hunting for his child, for his baby that he wants back. But everybody else is using and manipulating the baby instead of giving it back to him. So as you experience this game and go through it, all of these truths will be revealed. But the key components are really about you and society and life and connecting. The way this world and this game is disconnected from each other, and you spend time reconnecting the world, it's in the real world also. It's going to try to connect you to other players in a special way that's never been done. And it's up to you to be a part of that movement and help all of us solve this riddle of Death Stranding and the effects it has in the game and the Death Stranding of our real lives. So you go on my Twitter and it's just messages to the world, right? And I'm speaking to the world, but they're not speaking to me. It's when someone speaks at you or speaks with you. So there's a big difference between someone speaking at you and speaking with you. Right now, I'm speaking at you guys. I'm trying to touch you guys and open your eyes to this game and open your minds and hearts to see the bigger picture. This man right here is searching for his child, searching for his creation, searching. And he's mimicked by the little doll baby, but he really wants to find his child. Okay, but in your eyes, he looks like a villain. He looks like a bad guy. This guy's a badass. He's a scary, crazy creature that manipulates other creatures. And this is true in a sense, but it's also not true because we don't know his backstory. We don't know his real purpose on what he's really doing in this world. You know, and it's the same thing when you go on social media. You might look at someone and judge them from the outside. They said a stupid tweet. They misspelled something. They put up an ugly picture of something stupid, or they, it happens. We're human. It's not the end of the world. We have to be better for each other. And that's what this game is going to do and try to present to us in special ways. So now we're just watching some of these trailers, just discussing the game a little bit, getting into some deeper stuff. And I'm sorry, but I wasn't even going to stream this today, but a bunch of people were messaging me about it, and I felt it was important to discuss it one more time before I can't discuss it anymore, which is happening very soon. Just to talk about elements, what's really cool about this whole video here in the beginning, it showcases Timefall. Timefall is, just like I said, the supernatural events that have been happening. Timefall is basically rain, but it's time travel rain. Just imagine, I'm just going to help you understand it better. Time travel. So anything that the rain touches, it fast forwards time. So when it's in the beginning of this, you've seen it hitting the plants and the plants died. Now, these guys have suits protecting themselves from the rain, but you're going to see a guy a little later who's getting hit in the face with it and becomes an old man right before our eyes, right in front of us. So, but then there's elements about this. When the rain falls, the creatures come out. All of this special supernatural things start coming out, and it's very scary. So if you pay attention to this guy stuck under the car, he has black hair, no wrinkles, not too many wrinkles on his face. He just looks very young. He's struggling to get out. He's hurt. You can see it right there. Now the rain's going to keep falling and hitting him. As it hits him, you see him aging right before our eyes. The rain is changing his hair color to gray. These are really deep elements of what the game's going to have as far as dangerous environments. Forget about a bullet. The rain will kill you. The rain can kill you. You have to protect yourself. And there's going to be elements of that in this game. On top of that, when it does rain, these creatures come out. These supernatural beings. As you can see the handprints. Now this is where it gets deadly. Okay? Because now, on top of the rain, you have these supernatural things that are all over. So, we'll get into all of this in a minute. But the core element of what I want to stress is that overall, the supernatural events will continue to happen. We don't know every single one that's going to happen in the game, but this Timefall is a big one, because every time it rains, the creatures come out, things get dangerous on top of whatever else you're going to be facing. So imagine you're fighting a human faction, starts raining, these creatures come out also, and things get really crazy. So this game is going to have a lot of little elements like that are going to be dangerous. It's going to be tough to fight. And it's going to get very real. As you can see, Sam looking at one of the creatures floating towards him. And he can sense where they are, but he can't really see them unless he has the baby to help him. As you can see, his blood is causing something to happen on the Earth. So Sam's gonna be a very special guy in this game. He uses his blood, as we saw earlier, in one of the weapons to destroy a creature. So this game's gonna have really meaningful, purposeful things, elements that are gonna affect it. As you can see, this guy went bald and all white hair. So these are the elements that with this game that are gonna be special for gameplay. Forget about this cutscene and how great it looks and what is going on here. The key is this is gonna be a part of your gameplay, and you don't want these creatures to get you. You don't want to get caught in the mix, and it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out in the future. But a lot of people will confuse this and just say, "Oh man, what is going on in this game?" Forget about what you want explained. Okay, why is this happening? Why are these? That's the key revealed of why this happened. And I can easily say it's gonna have to do with nuclear warfare. It's gonna have to do with opening some type of quantum portal that caused these Death Stranding creatures to come out, you know, and it's opened the door to a lot of dangerous things. So that's where I'm interested for the story, but that's separate from the gameplay. In the gameplay, you're gonna have all these factions trying to survive and do what they do, have their bases and have all that. You're gonna have you what you need to do and all the allies you have, people crossing you, and just it getting crazy as we go forward and utilizing this baby to connect. Very powerful. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to address on some things. I know I got a little deep for you guys, but there were so many people asking and talking about it for the past 3 days. Ever since people got copies of the game, I've been getting a lot of messages, and I just wanted to address it. In the beginning, I talked about this, what people didn't like, and they felt like, oh, well, this game's gonna be boring. I don't want to deliver stuff. I don't want it to be, or I don't want to have to just fight ghosts all day, or, and that's not true. None of it is true. There's a lot of elements to this game. Even when you die, you see right here, this is gameplay. This is actual gameplay. When you die, you'll be able to circle around Norman Reedus. You'll be able to look around in this different environment like this and see what is going on and collect items for a couple of seconds before you come back and find your way back to the real world. So this is an actual gameplay element that Kojima has confirmed is going to be in the game. So get ready for that. And every time you see this, remember that. So you're trying to connect back into the real world. And they do a really good job to show you that in a way. As you're collecting these items, you're going through the map. You go into Sam Porter Bridges' mouth and end up in the real world, just like you're going to be doing in the video game, more or less. But what's really important to note that when you do die, you leave a crater. You leave a destroyed area in the game. Every time you die in certain areas, if you die from one of these BTs, they cause this void in the environment. So during this cutscene, it might look like just a regular, like, what is going on? But in reality, they explain to you in full detail and they show you what happens when you die. The reason it's called Death Stranding because you never truly die. You come back, and that's what he does here. And you're going to see the void when it zooms out and show you exactly what you can expect. So these voids will happen every time you die in certain areas. Certain voids are bigger and smaller. This is a huge one. So this is a different type void. But there's going to be things like that that happen. So these are all confirmed by Kojima. Not me saying them because it sounds good. But I appreciate y'all coming out, hanging with me, man. It means a lot. So let me go ahead and look back at some comments. Bro. Someone said I should have wrote the script. Not even close, man. The way I would have done this game, I said it in a video, and I don't think Kojima's gonna do it. Um, I haven't beat the game yet, so I can't say. But the baby is the key component, and I created an amazing ending for the game. But I won't say it again. You have to search my archives of Death Stranding clips, and there's a lot of them. And I explain what the baby is and the baby does, and what the baby should offer by the end of the game, because it's such a powerful, beautiful concept. Do you think there's gonna be PvP? Negative. There's no PvP in this game. It's not meant to have PvP. It's meant to connect us. The actual title of the game is called Death Stranding, and basically Death Stranding stands for life connections. It's the opposite of what it's meant to be. Life connections. So it's about connecting. It's not about facing. You're not even supposed to kill people in this game. You know, you're dealing with death already. The stranded, dead people. In regards to that, so there's no such thing. Um, are we gonna deliver anything except pizza? Yeah, probably. I'll take some chicken fingers and French fries, and I'll take a burger. You know. Um, Let me see. Oh, snaps. My boy Turkey's in the building. Two questions, he says. Uh, what do you think if the people can help you, then doesn't that mean it can be your enemy as well? Well, yes. So this is the tricky part, right? So I can go back to the footage and show you guys again. So in some gameplay, we see guys leaving ladders in certain areas. We also see guys putting signs up at certain points, like, "Oh, this is a lava," or, "Oh, this is a dangerous point, a positive point, a good area to be in." So they have signs, and they have a bunch of signs, and I could slow it down and show you guys each sign if I really wanted to get technical, which I should probably do, just for you, my guy. So it's gonna be hard to find that clip. Oh no, commercials. Thanks. Thanks. Let's take a quick blackout moment. This game just played me out. I'm gonna find the clip if I could, hopefully. Huh. I know where it's at too. I just gotta find it, man. It's not easy. Actually, hold on. Let me open this up for you guys so you guys can see me to search for it. So there's a specific spot where he's in the lava area, and he showcases all, well, not all, but a lot of the signs. I don't even know where it's at, dude. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, I think it's gonna be right here. All right, so we're gonna slow down the moment I get to it. So see, I'll give you an example. So there's these areas where you can mark and say something while you're there. You can leave a sign to what it is. What it is this there. For example, here we go. I'm gonna keep it here, and I'm gonna slow it down for you guys so you can take a quick look for yourself. All right. So if we look carefully, there's your do not enter. There's a caution, right? There's a BT sign. There's rough going. There's just cliff. There's just all types of signs that'll show you what exactly is happening there. Now, me as a player, I can put anything there. Now, the facts are you can have people troll you in some ways. So people can put different signs and be idiots. But people are going to dislike that. And people are going to probably get that removed because they can report it most likely and be like, you know what? No. So it can work against you. And that's how society is, right? You think we're all good people. We can help each other. But a lot of people don't. But those are one of the key elements on this game. But then there's a bunch of different terrain and places that people can go that I'll show you in a second here when I get a chance to go to those spots. So these ladders, oh, let me put this into normal speeds. There's a lot of ladders, right? Not every ladder is yours. Some of this is other players putting ladders in areas that they climb, and they're nice enough to place them there for you. So they're helping you. You know what I mean? Leaving resources. For example, there's a bike someone leaves later on in the game. They leave a bike just for Sam. Let's go over here real quick. So for example, here we go. Right after he leaves this area that I just showcased, if you look carefully, we're going to slow it down and pause it for a second. You're going to see people who left things. For example, see right here, somebody left their ropes to climb down. That doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. But we'll see in a minute. So here it is right here. All right. Take a quick look. There's two ladders, two separate people. One of them has 56 likes. The first ladder has 56. The one next to it only has 0. So some people will be able to get more likes than others. It's kind of like society, right? You go on social media, you have more likes than others. Which one is more helpful? Who's more? And you're going to be able to get resources and get bonuses for your game because you're helpful, because people like your help in the game. So we're going to stop it there. We're going to take a look at it. All right. You're getting more likes. You're getting more support because you were helpful. And this is going to help your gameplay. This is going to help you overall. It's not just being a good person. You will get rewarded. And I tell people all the time, being a good person in real life is a practical, intelligent thing to do. Because the more better of a person you are, the more the world will receive you better and you can get better opportunities and people will support you more because of that. So this game is kind of putting that on the table for you. Go ahead, be a good guy. And you're going to see resources and different things that will help you because you were a good person and you helped out with these small little details of just leaving one ladder. I'm sure you're going to have many ladders. You just leave one ladder and help out the world. And the second question is probably the most powerful. But before we get into that question, Turkey, that was an amazing one. So as we see here, there's more things that people left behind. This is all resources. These are all items and things that people left behind for us. So the idea of them being your enemies, sure, it's possible someone can put a false sign up and say, "Oh, it's safe here," and then you got a freaking giant creature gonna kill you or something. It's possible, and it's definitely going to happen somewhere, but it's not gonna benefit whoever's doing that. You know what I mean? Let's fast forward this. I gotta lower this Kojima talk in the background. So I want to fast forward a little bit and get to another spot where someone leaves not just a ladder, but they leave resources. All right. So look at this right here. This is a nice area where someone leaves the exoskeleton that helps you jump farther, that helps you carry more weight easily, and things like that. All right. So this exoskeleton, if you look, he's gonna place it on his legs. He's gonna put it on, and he's getting rewarded for this, right? But he can leave something in that spot also to say thank you to the person who blessed him with that. So this is where the gameplay mechanics and setup it's going to be very special. They're going to have unique elements in there for it. Someone else leaves the music tower with some good tunes in there and they're getting a lot of likes for it. You know what I mean? Like this game is going to have a lot of little cool things like this. All right. But now we're going to get into a very powerful thing that I didn't want to talk about. I can only talk about it a little bit for various reasons. I can't say, but it was a very good question, and we're just gonna breeze through it briefly, very briefly. All right. So before we breeze through it, we're gonna skip all of this and go back into it. So here's the question. This is a good question. This is probably the best question I've been asked ever. I've answered this before I've played the game, before anything. I answered this the first week of the game. You see him talking to the baby, first of all. Let's listen.
It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset. The day is
Before I answer the question, I wanted you to see these parts because they're very important to my answer. And this
That's
part
what
right
we
here
need right
specifically.
now. Not to stand apart, but to come together.
This part right
I'll
here.
show you the real thing soon. I promise. The whole wide world will be yours to explore. You'll be able to go wherever you want. Even the moon.
So why is that important? Because Mads has been looking like the villain of the game. He's been looking like the bad guy. But if you watch this segment there where he's promising the baby he can go anywhere, even the moon, it's very powerful. And then right after I showcase this, where the mascot of Kojima Productions, having nothing to do with the game, is on the moon. So it's a very powerful message back and forth. So let's listen to the question of what someone asked. Who do you think is the ultimate antagonist? Or will there be multiple antagonists, as in humans and creatures and other gamer people? Okay, so that is the question. It's more like a statement, but I'll take it. So while we do that, what we're gonna do is go into possibly the best trailer that showcases characters and kind of open the door to some things. I am gonna lower it though. All right, so let's get into it. First and foremost, Kojima never has a game when it comes to Metal Gear. He's never had a game where you actually have a bad guy. If you play the Metal Gear series and you really understand it, the so-called heroes, Solid Snake, Big Boss, Raiden, the three characters you play on the 9 Kojima games actually were villains. They actually were bad guys. They actually did the wrong thing. For part 1, Solid Snake activated Metal Gear. He killed off most of the people that the government wanted killed. He was literally terrible. He was the worst thing that could happen. He did worse than Liquid did. You know what I mean? Like, dude was a terrible guy. The only one that was close to him in part 1 was Ocelot. Ocelot killed off by accident the main DARPA chief or whatever it was. So Solid Snake was terrible. Raiden, same story. He did everything that the government wanted him to do. They manipulated him. He was the bad guy. Metal Gear Solid 3, not only was Big Boss terrible at everything he did, he killed his own mentor, the person who meant the most to him, the hero, the one who we still consider the greatest soldier in the series, the best person, the boss. Can't get any worse than that. Okay, so when you look at it all, there's never a hero in these games. Kojima's message is anti-war. Kojima's message is, this isn't okay. This is bad for society, for us, and he really pinpoints that. So when you see this drama and you're looking at Troy Baker here, Troy Baker's trying to fix this situation in his own way and manipulating it in his own way and trying to embrace it most likely. And the same thing with Mads. When you see Mads, who's you see the two good scenes where he's being nice to the baby and stuff. I'm sure there's a deeper, meaningful purpose behind it. And then when it comes to you, Sam Porter Bridges, I'm sure you're going to be doing terrible things without even noticing. And you're going to be manipulated by somebody in the game. And I already know who, so I can't say. But these are the elements that really make Kojima games special as far as story and drama and manipulation of plot twists where you're trying to do what's right, but you're messing up the world and you're doing things wrong and you're causing more trouble or conflicts, and it's complicated in that regard. So for me, there's never an antagonist in Kojima's games. I always feel like he's very smart about how he creates those stories. So you're gonna see things that are terrible and done bad by the good guy, and same thing with Mads or Troy Baker or all of the characters that are in the game. So in reality, what I'm saying is there won't be an antagonist. I believe everybody is an antagonist during this terrible situation, and everybody has their own selfishness. And I even Sam Porter Bridges specifically is a dark guy. He's supposed to be the hero, but he's not that great of a hero. If you get to find out his true story and the way he really is, he has a lot of mental issues, and he's dark and he doesn't trust, and he's, you know what I mean, selfish in many regards. But little by little, he breaks all that and he becomes a better so-called hero for the game. But it's a complicated story. But that's where, I would pinpoint that as best as possible. I appreciate everybody that's been coming out and enjoying this with me, man. I just wanted to talk about it and release it off my chest before things take off for me, and I play this game for the rest of the year, pretty much. Um, if you're on other platforms and I can't see your comments, I apologize, man. Right now, at least Twitch and YouTube are popping up on my regular chat. Uh, yeah, man, the Easter eggs in this game are going to be very special. So you think about it, right? This game already has star power, but it's also going to feature star power when it for example, Corey Barlog most likely is in this game as a featured artist, featured person, just like what's his name? Jeff Keighley is in here, and just like other people are in this game, you're gonna have a lot of featured people within the game at some point here and there, and it's gonna be special when it comes to that. And all the main characters are already special. You don't need to add anybody, but Kojima's just adding more and more. And there's a long list that I can tell you of famous people that are gonna be in there. Um, and he can always add more later. So it's a very smart thing that Kojima did to give his fans some really fun elements overall. But yeah, so that's the core of what I wanted to talk about today. I'm gonna get off of this. I'm gonna eat something real quick, and I'm gonna get back online and play some video games. I just wanted to address this. And once again, the main key point of what I wanted to say, and I messed up at the start of the stream. I ruined my whole stream. The first 2 minutes or whatever it was. I wish I could cut them off. Uh, but the key component is, I'll explain it to you like this. These girls are loud as hell outside. So basically, the key components of what Kojima is offering is not about just gameplay or just story. Everything is tied together for a full experience for you to really be immersed and get a deeper message for your personal life. And if you can look in the game and see that, then you've done your job as a gamer to experience this. Because it's going to have fun gameplay, it's going to have a dope story, and it's going to have all of this list that you want to have. But the key is the overall and how it connects to you as a player. So, so do what it do. Listen to this.
The whole wide world will be yours to explore. You'll be able to go wherever you want, even the moon.
Why is that important? Because I'm gonna show you. The baby is Homo Ludens. The baby is this character right here. Can go anywhere, even the moon. Imagine the loop that you're in, whether you're the baby and Sam Porter and Homo Ludens and the player and more. Everything's connected, my guys. Anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done? We done or we finished? If you guys have any more questions and comments, please feel free. I'm finishing this stream with thank you very much to everybody, all of my friends who needed this. Thank you for 4 days of battering me. It started off because of Sony and releasing copies, and they all started flooding me with craziness because of that, my friends. And now I also had some other guys yesterday bring it up on my DMs. So I just wanted to address some of this stuff about the game and what I could talk about. And it's pretty dope. I'm excited to experience this with you guys on November 8th. As a family of gamers, just to talk about this real quick, as a family of gamers, we are going to have to unite in special ways for this game. So I'm excited to share that with y'all. And not to be on a competitive PvP or a smash and grab shooter co-op style, but just a supportive role. And I'm when I stream, I'm going to request people to come and join me and to follow my lead as I go and do all the things I'm doing. So I'm happy, excited, so thrilled to be a part of this journey with y'all. Alright. Somebody just messaged me, yo, let me get a copy of the game on my text messages, my fam. It's not happening, brother. Don't work like that. Actually, even Kojima staff, just so people can know, even Kojima staff don't have copies. I'm sorry, they can't give away copies, is what I mean. It's all handled through Sony. So you gotta be connected to Sony Digital Entertainment, Sony Interactive Entertainment, PlayStation Entertainment. You have to be in contact with them. You have to be a trusted, reliable source for them to send you anything. Don't expect to be sent something if you're just a guy who never has a press site or has a YouTube channel that with reliable information and a strong following, all of that. You know what I mean? How could they trust you if you're just a random person who wants a copy? It's not how it works. So you gotta either be a big name, you gotta be a trusted site for reviews, you gotta be connected. You know, it's nothing against you. Sony's not giving you one because they don't dislike you. It's just trust issues and things like that. So if you want a copy, don't ask me because I know you keep asking me. Talk to Sony PlayStation. Hit up their PR department and see what they could do for you. That's just the only thing I can say. I'm in direct contact with Konami. I'm sorry, wrong name. I'm in contact with Kojima's staff, with producers and developers, and they can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not their job, and it's not in their power, regardless of them working directly on the game, because Sony has priority and the power behind it. So know that. Now, if they really want to put their name there for someone, they could possibly do that. But that's asking a lot of an employee to put their name on one person. You know what I mean? So I would say just contact PlayStation directly. And hope you guys get it and enjoy it. Alright. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. He said the embargo, the reviews. Yeah, November 1st for the reviews. I'm not going to be revealing anything. I think if people do reviews, they can't spoil it. It's not cool. I think if I end up doing a review, it would be about mechanics, gameplay. I won't spoil any story. I'll just talk about mechanics and gameplay. Like, all right, well, you guys, this is not a delivery game. You're able to shoot. You're able to stealth. You're able to snipe people. You know what I mean? Oh, let me see. But yeah, so that's what the deal is, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, rocking with me. I'm gonna close it out. It's been a fun hour. I wasn't supposed to go this long, but we kept it up. Thank you guys, man. Guys on YouTube, guys on Facebook, guys on what else? Mixer. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Nobody on Twitter anymore. 2 people. Thanks. Yeah, but everywhere, man. I appreciate y'all. And that's all I got for you. I can go on and on and on. I can tell you all these little details, but I've done it already. And I don't want to re-speak on these mechanics and gameplay elements. You know, Death Stranding is an open world game with shooter elements, stealth elements, new genre elements called stranded, social strand genre. That's what Kojima's calling it. The story is based off of supernatural events called Death Stranding that affect the Earth and devastated it and separated people from all over. And you are Sam Porter Bridges trying to bring it all back together. And there's a whole bunch of supernatural things as you see here. And the main character, Sam, uses the baby to connect to the other world and be able to see where the creatures are and all of these powerful elements. And he wants to reconnect the world, so he's doing what he can. That's the core essence of this game. And bigger than that, all you got is a good time. The gameplay is going to be fun. The story is going to be amazing. And you should enjoy this big time. Kojima's been doing this for 30 plus years, so to expect anything less is foolish. But I love you guys and thank you guys for hanging with me and enjoying this journey. Last points for last questions. Stop messaging me on my text messages, man. I don't check my phone too much. Let me check it right now.
Once there was an
Ooh,
explosion,
my buddy.
a bang which gave
My
birth
buddy's
to
over
time
here
and space.
texting me. I haven't heard from him in a while. So he wants a copy of Death Stranding also. Who do you hit up? Like I said, PlayStation. I can't do it for you, dude. Work it out. Check with PlayStation. Let me know. Alright, so that's pretty much it, man. Thank you guys again. It's been a joy. And we'll leave with this part, very important part of the game where this is kind of, you're caught up in the middle of some craziness and you got to try to survive. And this is early on, I believe. This is in the very early stages of the drama and how it all unfolds. And there's a lot of tutorials in here, I believe, right in the start of this point. But yeah, so thank you guys very much. And I'm talking low, one, because I got a sore throat. I'm eating Halls. And secondly, because I can. Thank you guys. Again, see y'all very soon. And I will be streaming this game when I'm allowed to officially stream it, which probably will be November 8th. Unless they give me an earlier time to stream it. I'll see what they say. But it's not on Kojima's staff. It's on Sony PlayStation. Alright, so look up that and deal with that. I'm actually going to let this play out. And I'm going to stay in the comments. I'm going to hang with y'all. But I'm going to just let this play out. And just turn everything off. There we go. I'll be in the comments for a couple minutes, guys. Thank you for watching.
Once there was an explosion, a bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion. An explosion that will be our last. Ah, yeah.
Today's station.
Sam Porter preaches. The man who delivers. Tears. Chiral allergy. So, you have dooms, like me. What's your level?
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
You can see them, right?
No, but I can sense them.
Wanna come work for me? Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
to town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The Timefall fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No, they're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea.
A crypto byte a day keeps the Timefall away.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
PlayStation
BB, don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset, the day is ending. Let that yawn out. There's no pretending.
Together, you can help us reconnect.
It's all to safeguard the continued independence of Edgenut City. They want the UCA to leave him be.
Who are these assholes again?
Homo Demons. Militant separatist group.
I've heard of them. Bunch of terrorists who go around towns killing people and leaving craters.
Right. Nothing's off limits for them. Not even engineering void outs. They're extremists like the demons everywhere. Plotting in the shadows. Good thing it was raining. Even they know better than to mess with BTs.
I can't spot BTs. Just sense them.
That's why we came prepared.
A bridge baby, huh?
Makes me feel like shit every time.
Well, you are plugging into the other side. Freaks me out, too.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started.
Rebuilding America isn't gonna get rid of the BTs. As long as they're still around, there's no escaping it.
But at least we'll have hope.
You see, I've come to understand the truth of the Death Stranding. Oh, it's so hard to form connections when you can't shake hands. Fortunately, I've got a good connection to the other side.
suffering. Don't act surprised when it all comes apart if you try to do it again.
Humans aren't made for living alone. They're supposed to come together, to help one another. And if we as a people can't do that, if we can't reconnect, that's what we need right now. Not to stand apart, but to come together.
I'll show you the real thing soon. I promise. The whole wide world will be yours to explore. You'll be able to go wherever you want. Even the moon.
PlayStation.
BB、心配はいらない。大丈夫だ。私はいつもつながっている。さあごらん、日が沈む夢を見て安らかに。
もう一度つながらなければアメリカを再建するの。
アメリカの時代は終わった。
また世界をつながなければ人類は皆滅びてしまう。
アメリカなんてもう誰も必要としてない。
いいえ、孤立した人類に未来はないわ。
それにブリジット、あんたはもう大統領じゃない。
エッジノットシティの独立自治を要求し、
Administering shock. Stand clear.
No luck. Visit 218,550. Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially onerous. Defecation, pollution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films. You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music, television shows, some very interesting short films, and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window. All from before the Death Stranding, of course. But honestly, the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the search. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach. I'm already dead.
PlayStation.
Just a little longer. Let's get it moving. Nothing in the tank.
Over here! I'm Sam! Hey! Anyone? Anybody hear me? How you doing, Sam?
Delivering cargo.
You the delivery dude? Oh, that's a relief. I've just about given up on you. Good job, man. Good job. Not that I'm surprised. I mean, you're you, right? About time I hopped on the whole chiral network bandwagon, am I right? Join the UCA and all that. You can help me do that, yeah? Sam. Hey, take care out there. Hate for this to be the last time we meet, you know? So, I'm gonna need a moment to look over what you brought me. But I'll hit you back via mail after. Promise. Hey, I'm hoping maybe you can help me out again. Don't want to be weird, but I feel you and I might have like a connection or something.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you. Kindly.
Come back soon.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Of course. Just my luck. It's okay. It's all right. Someone's happy.
PlayStation.
Dead man, you there? Little help?
Okay, Sam. Remove the pod and connect it to that incubator.
It's in.
Good. A temporary excessive stress. Easily addressed if we return it to its mother's womb.
Mother?
Located in the capital Knot City ICU. Brain dead, of course.
You mean still mother?
Correct. A still mother's womb facilitates a connection between the world of the dead and the BB. And you, in turn, connect yourself to a BB, granting you the ability to sense BTs. These pods were designed to simulate the conditions inside a still mother's womb. BBs need to believe they're in one at all times to function properly. However, we can only maintain this deception for so long, which is why we must periodically update the environmental data by synchronizing it with a still mother via the chiral network. There. The update is in progress. Right now, the pod is synchronizing with the still mother in capital Knot City and reconfiguring its settings based on the latest data. Returning your BB to the womb in this manner will temporarily reduce its stress levels. That being where it technically belongs, of course.
Kid looks happy.
I'll try adjusting the oxytocin dosage. Autotoxemia should set in much slower from now on. You should remember that BBs are just equipment. Try not to get attached. Each one has been physically removed from its still mother's womb, a process that renders them unpredictable and prone to failure. No BB on record has remained in service for over a year. It may need to be retired before this expedition is over.
And then? You saying there's no way to keep my BB alive?
must understand, there is still a great deal we don't know about BBs. As we expand the chiral network and recover more past data, perhaps we'll find our answers.
PlayStation.
Don't worry, Sam. She doesn't bite. Glad you made it.
What the?
There, she's down. Even though she can't drink it, my body keeps making it. Going through the motions really helps with the soreness, though.
What is she?
She's my daughter. And I'm her mama. It's okay. She's only connected to me. It's not like the other BTs. You can see it, right? You're hooked up. Now you know why I can't leave.
PlayStation.
It ain't as simple as it seems. They'll try and stop you every step of the way. But you gotta keep moving. No matter what. They've torn us apart. Fractured our society.
Hurry, Sam. You know what's at stake.
And the only way to save it is in my hands. My name is Sam Porter Bridges. It's my job to reconnect us.
PlayStation.
Just a little longer.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get it moving.
Quick look at a bunch of the trailers. A quick look at a bunch of different parts of the game. There's a funny part here where he uses the bathroom. Kojima said that you won't be able to see his private area. as you try in this camera scene here. It's funny. But yeah, just a lot of little quirky things just to the gameplay that Kojima wanted to showcase for everybody. I love it. It's fun. Getting a nice question. Perfect timing, too, during the gameplay when I was going to come back to the microphone. So you see that the baby is stressed. And you have to calm it down. Do you think that the baby dies? Can it die before the main character? Does it get sick? The baby does die, and it only has a short time to live. And you got to keep it alive. But will it die before the character? I think the baby is directly connected to the person through DNA. And it's vital that the one that they're using, that they use it during the time that it can stay alive. And the baby can only live for 1 year. And it will die within a year. So the player has to utilize it properly. You said you just realized that BTs are helpful? Yeah, the baby's a BT, basically. Connected to both sides. And as far as helpful, others for sure. Like I said earlier, there's no antagonist in this game, in my belief. There's good and bad guys, but anything in war is definitely bad. It's not good. And you have to respect it. And in the long run, things will be revealed on what is or what isn't. So 100% sure BTs will be helpful in this game. The tricky part about the baby dying is, what if the baby is you? You're in different realms together. What if? And the reason you can connect to the baby is because it is your same bloodline. But that isn't revealed to the end. Those are the questions you got to ask yourself. As I explained earlier, Sam uses his blood in the weapons he uses. So the weapon that he used to stun the enemies with, the gun type of weapon, and the grenade that he threw at the big creature in the gameplay. We're going to see it in a minute anyways, but both of those have his bloodline in them. And thank you to whoever's watching in Japan, speaking Japanese. I do not understand Japanese. If you can speak English, you would help me understand. BTs are called beached things. Basically stranded things. They're very, very important to this game. As you can see here, he's trying to keep the baby comfort and take care of the baby. But beach things are called many different things. That's just one name for them. But the bigger name behind it and the bigger purpose, it's a little more complicated. You have to get into the lore of the game on why these supernatural events happen to the Earth. You know, why are these creatures on Earth and what are they trying to do? What is their goal? And I believe they're not bad guys. I've talked about this many times. I believe that they're really good people and they're trying to do what's right. And it's complicated. Imagine being a beached thing, aka someone stranded in a different realm, and you don't know how to get out, and you're trying to figure it out. And maybe you destroy the whole world by trying to figure out how to get back to your world, or how to get back to normal. These are difficult things to answer, and the question is perfect because we get to play and figure out what's the real meaning behind these guys and what they're really going through. You know, they look like creatures and evil things, but really they're probably not. Here's a good question by Chucky. Do you think you can find someone else's past baby, as in another player's? If you do, or can you find them, connect to them to see what achievements they conquered? Wow. That's a pretty dope idea. But as we know with the babies, I can actually show you a trailer that's going to explain to you about the babies a little bit. Hopefully you like this and don't mind this. Just watch this carefully. Listen up. I'm going to turn my mic off.
Dead man, you there? Little help? Okay, Sam. Remove the pod and connect it to that incubator.
It's in.
Good. A temporary excessive stress. Easily addressed if we return it to its mother's womb.
Mother?
Located in the capital Knot City ICU. Brain dead, of course.
You mean still mother?
Correct. A still mother's womb facilitates a connection between the world of the dead and the BB. And you, in turn, connect yourself to a BB, granting you the ability to sense BTs. These pods were designed to simulate the conditions inside a still mother's womb. BBs need to believe they're in one at all times to function properly. However, we can only maintain this deception for so long, which is why we must periodically update the environmental data by synchronizing it with a still mother via the chiral network. There. The update is in progress. Right now, the pod is synchronizing with the still mother in capital Knot City and reconfiguring its settings based on the latest data. Returning your BB to the womb in this manner will temporarily reduce its stress levels. That being where it technically belongs, of course.
Kid looks happy.
I'll try adjusting the oxytocin dosage. Autotoxemia should set in much slower from now on. You should remember that BBs are just equipment. Try not to get attached. Each one has been physically removed from its still mother's womb, a process that renders them unpredictable and prone to failure. No BB on record has remained in service for over a year. It may need to be retired before this expedition is over.
And then? You saying there's no way to keep my BB alive?
You must understand, there is still a great deal we don't know about BBs. As we expand the chiral network and recover more past data, perhaps we'll find our answers.
All right, so we're gonna rewatch this, and I'm gonna break it down just real quickly because those are some good questions you have, and anything is possible by the end of the trailer, as we see. But here, explained to Sam is that this baby is from a still mother, meaning the baby is from the other side. It can connect to both this world and the other world that is disturbing Earth, and that's why Sam connects to it to be able to see the creatures from the other side. But as the dead man, aka the Del Toro with the black tie there, explains that they have to connect the baby into this device. This device is connected to the mother in another place, and what happens is the baby feels like it's in its mother's womb. It has its blood. It has everything it needs to go back to normal. The more you use it, the more the baby can become unstable and it can crash and burn. So this baby is not human. It's not from the other side. It's a little bit of both. So what happens here is you bring it back, you reconnect it, you get it back to 100% health, and you take it with you. But the effects and cause of the way the baby works is deeper than we know. So they were talking about, does it last over a year? Why can't I keep it alive? And Del Toro, aka Dead Man, says no one's ever got it past a year, and there's a lot that they don't know about it. So the mystery is there still on how this all works. And in my belief, the system has a DNA connection. A lot of the weapons are connected to Sam's actual blood. He uses his blood to affect the enemies. And I think the baby also is connected to him, related to him in some way. But that's a different conversation. But back to the core of what the question had to do with, connecting to other players' babies. We're all having the same baby pretty much. So the baby is very meaningful and very purposeful, as you could tell. It's a big part of the story, and it's so important. So I don't think that they'll be able to just give away a baby and not have one. You're going to always have to have one. There'll be scenes where you don't have the baby, sure. But to truly survive and to thrive in this universe, you need to connect to that baby as you go forward. So it'll be interesting what'll happen, how it'll all play out. But this is a big, big, important factor to the game. And we're going to watch a trailer right after this that's connected to the baby. And why it is all very, very, very crazy and odd. So pay close attention to this next one. It has nothing to do with the topic we're talking about, but it has to do with the babies and the universe and the dead and the alive and all of the effects on how things work. Should be very interesting because this reveals how these babies function and why they're here in a way.
Don't worry, Sam. She doesn't bite. Glad you made it.
What the?
There, she's down. Even though she can't drink it, my body keeps making it. Going through the motions really helps with the soreness, though.
What is she?
She's my daughter. And I'm her mama. It's okay. She's only connected to me. Not like the other BTs. You can see it, right? You're hooked up. Now you know why I can't leave.
All right, so we're getting a look into the universe, right? And what it entails. So, this woman here, I guess, right as she was pregnant, the supernatural events hit and caused her baby never to be born, but it is trapped in this Death Stranding state. As you could see it here in the video, it's like, what the hell? And it's kind of creepy, right? But she explains that it's just directly connected to her, and that it's not connected to the overall, all the creatures. And that she can't let it go. It's her baby. And that's why she's called Mama in this game. And it's an interesting take on what, the meaningfulness, how this universe has devastated people in different ways. And it's important to take it in, because what happens here now, it's like, wow, like she actually cares for the thing. It's a creature. And he's like, what the hell is this thing? For him, it's a creepy, weird monster that he would rather kill. But for her, it's her child. And it becomes a darker, deeper element to bring it to a new place for the game, right? So now it's like, wow, like people actually care about these things, and why is it important? And it's very important. Besides her rubbing her breasts, it's very important, and it's teaching us that how it affected this world, and how people are still connected to that side, even though it might look like the enemies and the worst thing in the world. In reality, there's a lot more to this game when it comes to those things. And it's very vital to look at it the right way, and to see that this is a bigger issue. She doesn't want to let it go. She doesn't want to let it go because it's her kid that she lost during this situation. And now we're going to go watch somebody else. Very special, very important for this. Pay attention to this. This is connected also to the Lord.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
No luck. Visit 218,550. Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially onerous. Defecation, ablution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films. You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music, television shows, some very interesting short films, and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window. All from before the Death Stranding, of course. But honestly, the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the search. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach. I'm already dead.
All right, so this guy's a madman, as you could tell. His name is not Madman. His name is Heart, but Heartman, close enough. So every 21 minutes, this gentleman dies, and he goes into the other realm. He goes into Death Stranding. He's trying to find his family. He's trying to rescue them from this Death Stranding. And the time on Earth, the 21 minutes on Earth, don't mean nothing to him. He explains how it's just for him to eat and shower. But the time when he's away, dead, he spends trying to get back to his family. This is when he's alive. And this is the universe that they're living in this very devastating universe where you've seen the mama girl where her baby is stuck on the Death Stranding and she won't let it go. You see him trying to find his family. And there's other characters like Sam who uses the baby to connect to the other side. All of these elements are a part of the game. All of these elements showcase to you what is to come and what to expect from this game when it comes to this Death Stranding effect on our society. It's a very important one. Shout out to Turkey giving us some good questions here. He says, it seems to me these characters are stuck in Death Stranding, can be saved or freed somehow from their environment. What do you think? Well, you're Sam, and you're going to have tons of side missions, and you're going to have tons of different things. And for sure, you're going to be helping out all of these people as you go along in your journey. The goal is to be the hero, right? Everybody wants to be a hero. So the game will give us these important elements as we go forward. Let's check out this release trailer for a second while we discuss that. So you're going to have a lot to do. You're going to have a lot of people to deal with. One of my favorite guys, and the mystery behind him, he looks like a badass in a lot of scenes. But in this trailer, he's such a good guy. In the start of the trailer, he's singing to this baby right on this scene. I'm not going to show it, but he's singing to the baby. Only a caring, nurturing, or a madman, which you can see he has blood all over him. So did he just do surgery, or did he just mass murder somebody? These are the questions. And you gotta love the take on it, because one side is like he's a good guy, one side he's a bad guy. We don't know. But what we do know is that this earth is devastated. You're seeing Sam trying to escape the Timefall hurricane that's right behind him. You're seeing the president of the United States connected to the BTs. You see the sandstorm right there? It's killing off everything it touches the moment it touches it. Then you see her, the president, who's dying, who's connected to these BTs through the strings that you saw in her deathbed, pretty much. It's a perfect example, and we're going to go back to that just so you guys can be clear of what you just saw. Right there. Perfect timing. So as you can see here, if you pay close attention, all of these strings tell you that the only way she's staying alive is connecting to the other side. So she's on Earth with Sam. Or is she? Maybe this is another realm, but they're sitting here and she's surviving through connecting to these beings. These so-called evil beings are what's keeping her alive. So how evil can they be? But the storm here is definitely evil. It would destroy Sam, so he has to escape. And I believe this is going to be early on in the game, a lesson about the storms. And there's so much going on in this game. It's a beautiful thing to see. So Timefall, if you don't know what that is, it fast forwards time. Anything it touches, anything the rain touches, it's called Timefall. And basically it fast forwards it. But as we see here, some really good stuff and some really key notes on how things work for Sam, preparing for his battles, his missions, and all of the gear he has to wear to keep alive in this universe. It's no joke, man. Traversing through mountaintops all over different type of terrains. It's going to be an interesting situation on this game. He does have guns and you can use explosives and do all of the regular things that a normal game does, but this game's showing, this trailer specifically shows you all of the tools you can utilize in the game. And remember, these tools are very important. And now we see the development of characters. She's being held by a faction. These guys are badass, all right? They're the demons. They call themselves Demo Ludens. Not the Homo Ludens, the Demon Ludens. And they are out for blood and death. As you can see here, Troy Baker, supernatural powers, using his ability to teleport to her. So he's going to be a great fight when we get to him. And just overall, this game has so many great elements. We're gonna end this stream soon, so I've already given you guys a lot of talk. I shouldn't have gone this long. But you see, there's just great combat. There's gonna be some fun stuff there, and different factions to face, and it'll be interesting to see the overall experience gameplay wise for combat. As we know, we got close quarter combat, we have the shooting combat, we have the special items, gears that Kojima always adds to video games, a dope motorcycle to ride. I mean, there's too much going on in this game. It's funny when people say this game doesn't interest them. It's like, okay, what the hell is wrong with you, in my opinion? But it's just me. But yeah, so as you see here, this part right here explains how he has to connect to the baby to be able to find out where all these creatures are in the world. It's a pretty cool device, and it connects, as you can see here, he's seeing where the creatures are. Now he can try to be stealthy instead of just walking through without it. I would be interested to see if you can leave the baby behind and just run through all of this. Anyway, last questions of the day. Please feel free to drop them. I've given you 3 hours of Death Stranding. Hope I kept it as interesting as possible. I took a quick break to cool off. But there we go. You got everything you need from the game. And I hope you guys enjoyed and kick it with me. It's going to be a great one. I appreciate y'all. The moment, which might be next week, the moment I get my hands on the full game, I will not be speaking about it again until November 1st when I do post. So apologies ahead of time. This is my last weekend, most likely, discussing this game openly. And for the rest of the time, I will not address this game in any way about the story. Maybe some gameplay elements, but I won't be allowed to speak on it once I get my hands on it officially. All right, fellas. So, yay. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I'll see y'all soon, man. We gonna be out here. You dig? I love you guys, man. You've been awesome. I'll see y'all soon, man. Good night. Peace out.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started.
Rebuilding America isn't gonna get rid of the BTs. As long as they're still around, there's no escaping it.
But at least we'll have hope.
You see, I've come to understand the truth of the Death Stranding. Oh, it's so hard to form connections when you can't shake hands. Fortunately, I've got a good connection to the other side.
Covering the world in cable didn't bring an end to war and suffering. Don't act surprised when it all comes apart if you try to do it again.
Humans aren't made for living alone. They're supposed to come together to help one another. And if we as a people can't do that, if we can't reconnect, that's what we need right now. Not to stand apart, but to come together.
I'll show you the real thing soon. I promise. The whole wide world will be yours to explore. You'll be able to go wherever you want. Even the moon.
Whole wide world to discover. Even the moon. What a bastard. It's crazy, Kojima. How you gonna do us like that? Thanks, Kojima. Thanks. All right, fellas. Thank you guys for tuning in, rocking with me, man. It's been a joy. I don't know why I get happy. Every time I watch these trailers, I just get happy. It just makes me happy. It's weird. Like, I like other video games and everything, but the way that Kojima masterfully wants to give us this message about connecting to each other and how the game's gonna make us struggle with connecting society in the game, it's also about real life, and it's gonna be beautifully, masterfully put together, and I'll cry like a baby as usual, and it'll be very powerful, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be hard for me. I can't believe I decided. I normally don't stream Kojima games the first playthrough because I try to get a hold of myself, but I'm probably gonna stream it. I promised that already, so I don't want to break my promise to some of my viewers who are into all of this. So I appreciate y'all's support though. But I love you guys, man. I'm off for the night. I'm probably not gonna stream later. Just gonna relax and lay back. But thank you guys. If I do come back, stay tuned. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. Peace up, peace out. With one of the two. Peace out.